Good morning. Welcome to another wine steward video and a particular problem, meaning an empty glass. We need to do something about this. So why don't we open a bottle of sparkling wine? First of all, you should or can or possibly might find on that foil a little marked area where you can more cleanly remove part of the foil. Or you can just tear the whole damn thing off. Do whatever you want. But if cosmetics are important to you, you can more cleanly remove the top part, right? Now, the more important part is to get this wire off without like hurting your neighbors or yourself. So always hold this away from people. Keep a finger over it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 twists perhaps, and leave the cage on. This wire thing called the cage is best left on so that you have some traction, so that that slippery cork can be better gripped. And voila, that's a happy sound. I don't always make that happy sound. Sometimes we let it whisper like the angels sigh, but this sparkling wine wanted to get the hell out of the bottle and into this glass. Ooh, look at the pretty smoke coming out. That's very nice. This beautiful sparkling wine is not champagne, albeit it is French. It is from Bordeaux, as a matter of fact. We don't do sparkling wine from Bordeaux very often, but this is kind of cool. This is actually on our wine bar this week, and it's a sparkling wine from Bordeaux called L'Arche Perlée. It is from a producer called Chateau d'Arche, and that producer is in Grave, in the southern part of Bordeaux, that specializes in the making of sweet wines. Sauterne. Have you heard of Sauterne? The greatest sweet wine in the world by many estimations. And these guys make that. Well, they also make this. This is using those grapes that go into Sauterne for bubbly purposes. This is 50% Semillon and 50% Sauvignon Blanc. Now, the very, very cool thing is, it is aged, at least during that first aging period, before it goes into individual bottles for the second aging. It is aged in Sauterne barrels. So the producers, barrels once used for the production of Sauterne are repurposed for aging the the still wine that will ultimately be bubbled up to make this. So Sauterne barrels. Now the cool thing, so second fermentation in individual bottle, just like champagne. And then what? So we have a little dosage happening near the end. This is in fact called a brut, but even a brut gets just a little bit of sweet something added so that it's not scorchingly dry on your palate. So to get it there, after the disgorgement, it gets a dosage, not of pure fructose, but instead that producer's Sauterne wine. How about that? So a little bit of the dessert wine goes into every bottle of L'Arche Perlée. This is in our bubbly club this month, and we have leftovers, so we are putting it on our wine bar as well. So you get to try this, whether or not you're a wine club member, and maybe I will have it along with you. I'm gonna have it right now. Half Sauv Blanc, half Semillon from Bordeaux. Kind of cool, right? Because we don't often see sparkling wine from Bordeaux in our market. Beautiful. I smell pear. Pear and peach. It's a very friendly fruit, albeit a dry and nice attack. It's cool. Nice, nice, nice. This is on our wine bar menu this week. It's in our bubbly club this month, and you get novelty and a delicious wine all in one. Very cool package from Bordeaux, of all things. Let us tell you about other things happening at the Wine Steward this week. We're going to jump around a little bit. Let's remind you that we are in the spirits business, and tell you that we're very pleased with the success of this product that we told you about last week. I think it was a week ago when we told you about Hogsworth. This is a unique product made by the founder, the creator of Whistle Pig, a bourbon brand that really took off and became a collectible. He succeeded to the point of being able to sell that brand, cashed in, if you will, and started this thing because he couldn't leave well enough alone. And he likes pigs. So now he has Hogsworth. And Hogsworth is unique for being a blend of mainly bourbon, but also some French Armagnac. So you have America and France getting along here in one bottle, bourbon and Armagnac, softening each other up. It's a beautiful melding of the two. I believe you can detect both. If you are used to both of those beautiful spirits of the world, you will find them both in nose and mouth in this Hogsworth, a fun name and yet a beautiful mellow drink for either the bourbon aficionado or those who are more attracted to Armagnac. I think either of you, both of you, will be into this. So I know some of you already are, because we've been selling out and reordering, and it's kind of fun to see this taking off. So reminder, this is still here. Well, it might not be by this weekend, but we will hopefully get a little more Hogsworth. Boom. Armagnac and bourbon, who knew? Now, to stay on the spirit subject for just a minute, I do want to say that one of my favorite things to drink when I get home, besides a good glass of wine, is a gin martini. I love playing around with all the different gins we're bringing in. Some of them have a little bent of maybe more fruit, maybe occasionally, like, believe it or not, olive oil. We have a beautiful thing down there called Four Pillars that uses olive leaves in its gin. But sometimes getting back to basics, getting back to the original idea is a nice thing to do. And like maybe even Beefeater gin, this is an improvement on that. This is a London dry gin, as the name proudly suggests. London Hill from, of course, London, England. And this plays to price as well. This is in the mid-20s. It's not one of those fancy gins that are well over $40, but at $24.99, it is a hell of a gin. It beats Beefeater easily with, yes, the same set of flavors, botanical, juniper-oriented, but texture is the improvement. You get more mouthfeel here from this particular one. So if you're a gin lover like I am, and sometimes you like to get back to tradition, check out London Hill. I think you'll be very, very pleased, especially per the nice price on this gin. Now, let's come back to wine and talk about some things that are happening on our wine bar, or maybe that happened last night when we had a good 40 people sitting down to try Italian wine in here. And thank you so much for coming and ordering some wine, being users of distinctively good wine. Let's talk about maybe what we're going to call our wine of the week. Our wine of the week is a Montepulciano. This comes from Abruzzo, which is on the Adriatic coast of Italy. So, as you know, Italy is shaped like a boot. On the west side, you have the Tyrrhenian Sea, and like halfway down that country on the west side, you have the famous region of Tuscany. Well, if you go over the Apennine Mountains to the east side, you are now on the Adriatic Sea coast. And one of the better known regions right along that coast is called Abruzzo. And there you have a great red wine called Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. This is not the Montepulciano from Tuscany, Italy. That's the name of a location making wine out of Sangiovese. No, we are going over those mountains, remember? And we are having Montepulciano, the grape from Abruzzo. This is a wine that we have found that everybody understands, whether or not they're all the way into Italian wine yet. This gets them a little further into it because it has darkness that they understand. It has a little bit of tannin that they understand. It's not as much like the acidic wine that Sangiovese represents from Tuscany. This is more about a bolder, more tannic red, but friendly tannins happen in this particular wine called Cataldi Madonna Malandrino. I don't know what any of that means, but the main thing to know is that this is Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, a dark red wine priced in the mid-20s. It did very, very well last night in our Italian wine event. We're buying more so the rest of you can enjoy it. And we have even positioned it on our wine bar flight this week. So in as much as we're jumping all over the place with that red wine flight this week, we are representing one wine from last night's event in the form of this Montepulciano, the grape, d'Abruzzo, from Abruzzo on the Adriatic coast of Italy. Another wine to tell you about that we really enjoyed last night, that was a nice surprise for people, is this wine from Basilicata. We don't talk about that area so much. This is an area near Campania, and it grows a grape called Aglianico. So the grape is Aglianico, happening here, wherever it is, and there it is. This is This is the one you gotta try. This is Aglianico di Vulture. It looks like vulture if you see it in print, but you say Vulture. I had to relearn that pronunciation and emphasis last night when Nico was representing this wine. This is a very nice surprise in that Aglianico can be rustic and aggressive. It can be, let's say, curmudgeonly as a red grape that says, like, sit up, young man. You're slouching. It's a wine that just, like, it makes you pay attention. This wine is a little more easy in its palate feel. It's certainly representing Aglianico in scent and flavor, in these smells that are not just pure fruit, but something about tar and herb. And anyway, you got to smell and taste this wine. But let's just say that this is a friendlier version as far as palate feel. I encourage you to try this Aglianico di Vulture, which prices at the exact same level as the Montepulciano we just described. So in other words, mid-20s, affordable, and worthy of your tentative experiment of buying a bottle. You really ought to try this Aglianico di Vulture from Basilicata, grown on an extinct, or at least dormant, hopefully extinct, volcano. How about that? Why don't we move on? Tell you about like 2 more wines. I had an epiphany lately. You know, 25 years of selling wine here at the Wine Steward, and you think we would have learned this sooner? Well, maybe everybody else did, but you know, we run out of things that sold very, very well and sometimes forget to reorder. This is my vow to you that I won't forget to reorder so often. In other words, here is a wine that has come back like 3 times now. You like it. Why am I not reordering wines that you like? This is Garnacha from Calatayud, Spain. You keep buying it. We keep putting it on the wine bar and it sells out and I forget to reorder. No, enough of that. Bad habit, bad habit. Let's keep this on the shelf for you people so that you can find us more reliable in keeping a wine that you like on our shelf. So Breca, Garnacha, that's Grenache, if you want to know it better by that name. And it's from Calatayud, Spain, one of my favorite places in Spain that nobody else ever visits. But delicious wine, beautiful fruit that everybody understands. You can pour this for your neighbors who think they don't like European wine. They'll say, huh, I guess I like European wine. Breca is back. And we're going to keep it coming back and back and back and back. All right? Let's tell you about one more wine. One wine that is on our wine bar, and it's another wine that's back. It's kind of cool when we are able to renew a relationship. Like sometimes things, they come in, we cause a stir with those wines, and they go for various reasons. There's reasons why over our 25 years, wines have come and gone, but sometimes they come back. Sometimes a relationship is remembered. And our relationship with Pete Stoltman of Stoltman Vineyards down in Ballard Canyon of Santa Barbara County is renewed by the return of this wine that has a different label, inconveniently, every year, but they're very artistic down there. This is La Quadrilla, a blend of Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, and this year a little Sangiovese, a very friendly wine that's on our wine bar flight and on the shelf. It's back. Are you back? Come on back. Thank you.